Hello everybody, welcome back to the Roundtable 2 2023 qualifier stage. Today we got another match, our final match of the weekend, but not our final match of the stage. We got the very, very epic Enri against Chicony in the losers bracket. My name is Sad Shiva. Joined by me today is the wonderful Dio. How's it going, Dio?
Doing fantastic, thank you very much. Quick look at the winners bracket before we switch over to the losers bracket. We just saw about an hour ago Malashevsky take down MCY4 in the winners semifinals, advancing into the top 3 guaranteed. So congratulations to him and good luck to MCY4 in the losers bracket. Zudinator versus Bartek, our other winners bracket match. That one's going to be on Friday the 17th. Bartek apparently broke his hand or his fingers or something in his hand at a party on Friday, and so is not going to be able to play this weekend, hopefully healing up enough to play well this coming Friday 22 UTC. So be on the lookout for that Friday match right before the finals weekend. And now, let's take a look at our losers bracket. This is where Enri versus Chicony is happening. It is our last matchup of this weekend. Like you said, a last match of this weekend, but not of the semifinals. Winner of this match will be facing off against MCY4 in that next losers bracket match, with Xylus making it through the other side of the losers bracket after an unfortunate FF from Demonical due to RSI.
Yeah, as you said, you've talked about it. Unfortunately, that FF from Demonical has given Xylus that free victory into the next stage, securing himself the loser opponent to be between Bartek and Zudinator. But let's look at this matchup for this match here. Enri against Chicony. Enri has made a fantastic push in this losers bracket stage, barely losing against Zudinator 6-4 in a brilliant match. Going down into the losers bracket, but making a tear, taking down his previous matchup of Intercambing 6-1. And if you know Intercambing, you know he's an incredible player, you know he's very strong, so that is a surely strong matchup. Taking a look at Chicony's strengths here, finger control, speed, very, very mechanics-heavy player, very, very strong on that double time.
Yeah, very, very solid overall player as well for Enri. Really, I think kind of abusable on the hard rock and on some of the sorts of raw mechanics focused no mods, but very little that you can point out as a solid weakness for Enri. The same goes though for Chicony, who honestly I think these two players match up pretty well into each other. You have Chicony, very, very good hard rock player, both of them very good on speed. Chicony a little bit better at speed finger control. I think Enri maybe a little bit better at sort of speed stamina. And of course Chicony much better on some of the no mod mechanics picks and those hard rock maps. And we are going to be getting right into the bans, actually cutting a little short here talking about the players, unfortunately. Pecora Lover gets his little bit of screen time there for the player cards as we move into the first bans. Already banning out the Hidden 2 for Chicony. A pretty well thought out ban against Enri for sure.
Solid ban. Someone like Enri, really, really formidable on that Hidden. You know him as a really, really strong tournament player, but most notably Hidden is a very strong skill set of his. Chicony generally is not a big fan of that reading, so definitely getting rid of the strength and eliminating width at the same time. Solid, solid first ban for Chicony. Enri taking a little bit of time to think about his first ban, but to think about it, I think it's safe to say that he's probably going to go for strong, heavy mechanics, heavy maps, hard rock, double time. Those two mod sets are particularly something that he wants to get rid of, but double time 1 and double time 2 are what he's going to get rid of here, Dio.
I think these make sense. Chicony is a very, very good DT player. You ban out the AR 10.5 in the DT1, you ban out the DT stamina in that DT2. I think those both make quite a lot of sense. And I'm expecting either another hidden ban or a ban on the DT4 from Chicony. The aim control required on that DT4, along with the low approach rate, makes it very, very difficult if you're not already a low approach rate player. But this Hidden 3 ban makes a lot of sense as well. Shadow Castle has some absurdly tricky flow aim requirements in it, streams that double back on themselves and have these weird accelerating, decelerating, cut stream patterns all in the same stream. So makes a lot of sense for a player like Chicony to ban that out against Enri. And looks as though we're going to be getting the first pick from Enri here soon. I'm thinking one of the remaining hiddens, that's for sure.
Yeah.
If not one of those, probably the DT4. And it is actually going to be that DT4 as the first pick for Enri, it looks like.
Double time 4 is what's going to be picked here for Enri. Crazy motorcycle chase, extreme AR8, and very extreme aim control. You've seen that if you were with us for the match between Malashevsky and MCY4, you know how crazy this map is. You know how heavily aim control favored this is. And considering that Chicony got rid of that hidden 3, which is not the same, far from the same, but relatively similar in terms of aim control requirements, it's pretty fair for Enri to go for here. First solid pick. Definitely a unique double time for sure. Not really too speedy or fast reading intensive. It's very much the opposite, but solid first pick for Enri. We're going to go into that first map.
Yeah, this is a pick that I expect Enri to do very well on. Extremely good aim control player, extremely good low AR reading player, not somebody that you really want to face on a map like this. That said, for Chicony, it's not as though this is that low approach rate hidden that he's so poor at in tournaments. And there's actually an early miss for Enri, so it's not unwinnable here for Chicony. You have similar accuracy going on right now. I think a lot of this is going to come down to some of the more difficult wiggle patterns, especially in the middle of the map. You get that double wiggle stream and then the sort of half circle stream afterwards. There's another miss to come out for Chicony. So trade of misses so far. Slight combo advantage for Enri. Misses once again. We're into the back and forth wiggle section now. This is kind of the precursor to some of those wiggle streams that we see later on in the map, and that's going to be a big determiner of who ends up winning this map. If they both miss or if they both hit it, which is very unlikely, we're going to see a very close one. Here's the section.
Here we go. Big session comes through. Enri hits it, but Chicony sadly breaks. Halfway point advantage for Enri. Accuracy to boot as well to continue to boost that lead a little bit further on. But we've seen multiple breaks be traded already. We could see another break bounce back for Enri, but that big session being hit is definitely going to give him that early advantage. A little bit of a wiggle pattern comes through here, about two-thirds of the way through this map. This map is not too long, but not too short either, about 2 minutes long. Very average lengths, really. But the break does appear. Both the players understand what's going on. They both understand their situation. There is still a little leeway, potentially, for a break, but it will have to be very soon. Otherwise, Enri is going to run away with this lead.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's pretty much over as well. I mean, there's really only one super hard pattern left in this map. We've made it through a lot of the really difficult wiggles there with that last stream, and now this is all pretty much free combo for Enri, already up over 100,000 score, and there's the miss for Chicony. That's not even the hardest part in this map. Here we go, last stream. Of course, neither player actually hitting that pattern, and it's 200,000 score up for Enri now. Solid first pick on Crazy Motorcycle Chase. Expected result at the end of things. You know, you expect a player like Enri to win this sort of pick. This almost feels like one of the gimmies in the map pool for Enri at the start of this matchup. It's kind of this hidden 3, hidden 2 are sort of the gimme picks, and this is definitely a map that you expect Chicony to win, is the double time 3. Not expecting Enri to win this pick, although, you know, this is a skill set that both of them are relatively solid on. Enri, formerly known as Keeg, still a very solid speed player, despite really speccing into the tech and reading heavier skill sets recently.
Enri still got a little bit of that power in him, and he's going to try and maybe potentially get a breakpoint off this, but this is pretty high BPM. 270 BPM, a very short map as well. Let's not forget about that. With double time, this is 1 minute and 36 seconds long, if I remember correctly. Very short, very quick. A single break anywhere can really make or break a point, and considering Chicony's incredible strength on that formidable speed, formidable raw speed, 270 BPM, high BPM in general, solid pick here for Chicony, but Enri is definitely not out of it for sure. This isn't as kind of sure as a pick compared to the double time 4 picked here by Enri. This definitely still has a little bit of leeway for a breakpoint.
Yeah, in addition to the 270 BPM sections in the majority of this map, there's also a 300 BPM ending. So if players are a little bit more uncomfortable on their AR 10.3 alt at the end of this map, there is the potential to see, close maps on this pick swap back and forth. So you really have to be confident in this map all the way up through the ending if you want a guaranteed point. And with how difficult it is to maintain stamina on a lot of these consecutive bursts and not slider break, not shake off any of the bursts, it's really hard to have that confidence. So I'm expecting this one to be, like you said, a little bit closer, especially given that enri is still a relatively good speed player. Again, formerly known as Keeg, where he was extremely good at speed under that surname, but a little bit more into the tech and reading for enri as of recent. We'll see how well the speed skill has held up in this map. Less of a guaranteed point for Chicony as we get into the start of these 270 BPM burst spam.
Here we go, getting right into this. You can already see that raw speed bursty expression here. You can see the comfort extend a lot more for Chicony. Definitely feels like a lot more of a comfort pick here for Chicony, but enri holds onto that speedy section with solid accuracy to boot. We're very, very early stages in, but saying that, early stages for a map as short as this is not very early, to be honest. Already making halfway through. Neither of these players choosing to break. Accuracy closing. Now dead even, in fact. It could lead to an accuracy battle. Both these players are pretty close, but Chicony's the one to drop. enri holds. And we're getting close to that accelerating section where you said, Dio, it could get to 300 BPM, but a break that late is going to seal it for sure. Chicony breaking once again only furthers that statement. Drives it through even harder. And enri now looking and running away with this lead.
Yeah, this one's just over. This is enri taking the break point in pretty spectacular fashion. Almost 99% accuracy here going into the 300 BPM part at the end. Actually acts the 300 BPM as well. 98.77 on the FC by the end of the map. Very solid score for enri. And this is why picking into these types of players can be very, very tricky. Thinking about the players and their skill sets at the start of this match, you have really, I think, an overlap on the speed and an overlap on a lot of the no-mod mechanics, but enri with the advantage on gimmicky stuff and hidden reading, Chicony with the advantage on hard rock mechanics and finger control. So you're looking for those types of skill sets if you are Chicony, and early picking into the speed, I think, sets the tone for some of the rest of this match. You can no longer feel confident picking into something like the no-mod 5 if you are Chicony, where that may have once been a part of your pick strategy, and now you kind of need to find some footing, get back into it, and figure out where you go next from here. Likely into the hard rock, likely into something like the hard rock 4, I would think, given the finger control intensity in that map. But I think we'll still probably see stuff like the no-mod 5 picked up for Chicony later on in this match, just because enri has a pretty decisive advantage on a lot of the gimmicky stuff, a lot of the reading maps, and there is more of that left up than raw mechanics. enri with the double mechanics ban really, I think, limiting the pool choices for Chicony, given that a lot of the rest of the mechanics are aim mechanics. You have the hidden one, hard rock one, and no-mod one all still left up, and speaking of which, we get one of those aim mechanics maps. It is the hidden one. It is in hidden, but it is AR 9.9. This is not a map where the approach rate and density really play into a lot of what goes on. Much more about the awkward aim, the angles on the jumps being obtuse angles the majority of the time in this map. A little bit of speed mechanics as well. 248 BPM bursts and slider jumps abound in this map, which we saw on the previous map. Obviously, neither of these players is going to be really put off by that sort of thing. But it's going to be tough for either of these players to hold on to a full combo, given how awkward this map can be, especially for Chicony not preferring that hidden mod. This is still a good pick for enri, but I think much less guaranteed than something like the hidden 3, the hidden 2, given that this may as well be AR 10.
Yeah. You know what they say, the higher the AR on hidden, the easier it is for a no-mod player to read it. This is definitely not a surefire map pick. Although on paper, most hidden ones are a little bit more on the slow, size of the jumps, but this one is a little bit more awkward, speed heavy. Aim, kind of more like aim speed, higher BPM jumps with an exchange of the spacing being a little smaller. This is definitely not a surefire win, but still a solid pick there for enri. Enri with comfort on this hidden. But Chicony, no slouch, especially on this mechanics heavy stuff. With a little bit of awkward aim to boot. enri first to break before the first quarter. Chicony's got that little advantage going through here.
Not what you want to see if you're rooting for enri on this map. I mean, that is pretty much a break on the end of a triple. There wasn't really any tough pattern there. It's kind of a miss on nothing. So enri, maybe a little bit of jitters on this map, maybe a little bit of shake there, just mistiming the move of the cursor off of that triple and paying the price for it. Yeah. Bancho, I think, is what I see there. Or bruh, I can't tell. One of the two. Bruh moment for sure. Neither of them missing on those slider jumps there after the 1/3. And Chicony's still holding on to this 99.3 AC FC, is looking very, very comfortable on this map, despite the mod comfort that we talk about for enri. Chicony, like you said, not bad at hidden, and this is showing it for sure.
Getting into this next Ki here, about 2/3 of the way through the map, and Chicony continues to hold, but he may break. Oh no, I jinxed it! He's broken 2/3 of the way through, and enri's got that recovery of 500 combo. Well, Chicony only has 100 advantage, but enri sadly trades it, and the lead for Chicony stays stable.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate for enri. I don't know how else to put that besides just unlucky. Both the players have about the same accuracy now, too, so if enri had held on to combo, I think there would have been a very good chance of a comeback happening, but as it stands, 100,000 score, a quarter of the map left, and only a 90 combo lead for enri. This is not looking winnable as Chicony continues to hold on to the lead. There's only so much you can hope for, right? And on a map like this, you really can't hope for something like a chain miss note block fiesta, like you can on something like the No Mod 2 or something like Shadow Castle, right? That's just not going to happen on this type of map. So enri pretty much guaranteed the loss on this pick, and unfortunately that early breakpoint start for enri is all for naught. Chicony winning it right back and looking to consolidate with his own pick after this.
Both of these players recover solidly towards the late stages after managing to unfortunately break after enri had that advantage. They both steady up the combo, but with that, what stays the same in combo stays the same in lead, and Chicony gets the breakpoint on the hidden one and gets a point on the board, and now he's got an opportunity to even this up because the next pick is his.
I really want to see, after that, one of the Hard Rock picks. I think a big part of why this map went well for Chicony is its AR10. It is higher approach rate. It's not necessarily speed map. I think even just picking into Hard Rock 1 here would be very solid. You have all 4 Hard Rocks open right now. Obviously, enri was a little bit more concerned about the DT2 and DT1 with that super high approach rate, AR 10.5. You could also... yes, enri won the breakpoint on DT3, but with DT2 banned, that does raise the question of, okay, does enri have the stamina for something like No Mod 5? Burst speed and stream stamina are 2 very different skills, so might still be a good pick for Chicony. Gonna go with the Hard Rock 4, though, and I do like this pick. This is as finger control, aim control Hard Rock as you get in a tournament. Abandoned Shrine Party by Half Slash. This is a very, very tricky pick to do well on, and something that a lot of players struggle with just in terms of the mapping style. You have a lot of long hold sliders, 3-4 sliders in this map. A lot of really tough swing finger control and high spacing doubles all over the place in this map that just make it a pain to aim and act at the same time. Specifically, the accuracy can be very tough for a lot of players. We saw, for example, MCY4 with 88% accuracy on this map against Malashevsky. So this is one where the comfort on the mod and the comfort on the style of mapping really will end up mattering. And for Chicony, who is known as a very good finger control player, you're expecting relatively good accuracy.
We're going into the first stages here, early very stages of this map. As you talked about before, this is arguably one of the hardest maps in the pool. Super ridiculous slider stuff, really hard to act. And the mid stages of this map, around early to mid stages, the sliders get really, really frightening. And he could really, really hit one of these players hard. But considering this is Chicony's pick, his opportunity to potentially get this 2-2 even. Make that breakpoint for enri nothing, useless. It's good to see.
Oh, that missing from enri is rough to see right on the build-up as soon as we get into another more difficult section. Accuracy is not bad for enri either, 95, 96% right now. It's just the one miss, and Chicony able to take full advantage, still holding on to the combo right now. Does have 97.5 as well on the act. There's another slider break for enri, and Chicony is just going strong right now. Drops the act, sure. Okay, there's a slider break trade, but a lot of damage already done. 50k score lead.
Pecco says Chicony. Totally agree. Understandable. I would feel pretty Pecco myself if I was in this situation. Oh, enri continuing to break again.
And it looks like Chicony's slider break was Bancho, by the way.
Oh, what? This is like the third time Bancho's trolled us here. Third time today.
I think Bancho hates this map. I think Bancho just hates this map because it keeps trolling us on this one.
Yeah, another Bancho break. That wasn't another break from Chicony. Continues to hold on to that 800 combo. Every time enri gets a small little combo before the Ki, he sadly breaks again. But we're going into about the last quarter of this map, and Chicony continues to show that comfort. I am going to wait until I announce that break there.
I think that one was real. I think it was real.
Yep, I think that break was real too. I better not get pranked after this, but
I know after 100 combo.
enri may have that combo advantage at the moment, but I don't think there's going to be enough time. Chicony's score is doubled nearly in his favor. We're going to this final Ki. I don't think there's enough combo, not enough time.
Definitely not. You got to be real with stuff like this. This one's not coming back for enri right now. It's over 200,000 score in Chicony's favor. Even if enri had held throughout this entire ending, it would have required Chicony to pretty much stop playing, and even then, I don't know if it would have gone over. So really solid stuff from Chicony. 600k on this map is extremely difficult to pull off, in spite of what you might have seen an hour and a half ago. This map is very, very difficult. So props to Chicony. 600k on this is a very solid score. Nicely done and nicely won out to bring us back to a 2-2 even game state. enri with the early breakpoint and Chicony with the later breakpoint, now tying us up and bringing us back to even. It's enri's pick again. enri with the first pick in this matchup. Going to be picking after this map now. I feel like we're probably getting the last remaining hidden, or we're getting one of the tech or aim control picks in no mod. That's going to be my prediction for this one. It's hidden 4 is left up in the hidden pool. Newspapers for magicians. If enri wants to save that for the end of the match, and I think that's what enri's going to do now, is save that hidden 4 for later as we go into the no mod 2 Ring Run Yan by Misumil. This is all flow aim focus in this map. Not a lot of stamina requirement for this. It's 195 BPM, sure, but it's not a stamina map. Lots of accelerating, decelerating streams, high curvature streams, sharp corners all over the place in this map. It's a very, very tricky no mod 2 with a little bit of non-standard flow aim in it. So if you don't have really high mastery over this sort of difficult stream aim, you're going to have a tough time on this map. And I think this is a good pick into Chicony specifically, because enri much better on the aim control, the flow aim control, whereas Chicony, I think, a lot better on the finger control. That said, you know, this is still a map where Chicony can win. This is by no means a guaranteed pick. Like we said, there's really only one area where each of these players is weak. For enri, that's the hard rock. For Chicony, that's the hidden. Outside of that, both of them are extremely good. There's a reason they've made it this far into the top 8 of this tournament.
For sure. Yeah, I totally agree with everything you've just said there. These guys are so well matched and so well performed in any skill set. But aside from those weaknesses, they're incredibly strong on majority of things there. You've seen what Chicony's done in previous tournaments. You know Enri, you know what he's done. These guys are both really formidable. And this normal 2 could be a pretty big clash here. As you said, Enri probably saving up those previous maps and going for a bold, flow aim intensive normal 2 pick before going for that hidden 4, that normal 3, and that normal 4 as well. All valid options for Enri. But looking at this halfway mark here, this map is relatively short, 2 minutes long, just under. But so far, both these players are holding significantly well here. 100% for Chicony, 99.7 for Enri, not too far away at all. This is incredibly evenly matched, and we're getting to the last third of this map, and it seems it can go any way.
These types of maps where you have double FCs 2/3 of the way through are always so tense going into the end here. Nobody missing on the circle streams. You can see again the Axel, decel, the high corners, the high curvature, and it catches Chicony. There goes Enri with the score lead. The SS all for naught after the halfway point as Enri holds on to the combo. Vastly more important, unable for Chicony to hold on long enough. We do finally see a couple of misses there for Enri at the end of the super high spacing patterns, but it's not going to matter. Chicony's going to match, and at this point, with a 200,000 score lead, Enri is fully out in front with no chance of a comeback.
That is it, with a fantastic performance from Enri, getting 800k. Chicony sadly missing on midway through that stream, managing not to chain miss and nerf his score drastically, but the combo game goes through for Enri, managing to get a solid score into the very late stages where he sadly just chain missed a little bit on that space burst. But aside from that, Enri takes the normal 2 and no breakpoints come through. We're going to have to see the next pick for Chicony and immediately goes into that Hard Rock 2. We have yet to see this map, if I remember correctly, Dio.
No, we have seen this map. We haven't seen this map this weekend.
Okay.
But I don't remember exactly which match we've seen it in. We may have already seen it in the matchup previously. I know we saw it in Xylus versus Mustache, but I don't believe Chicony played it previously, and Enri did not play it previously either. So this is the first time we're going to see either of these players playing this map. Reminder, this is the second losers bracket match for both of these players, so they do have some information on the other, but frankly, they already know each other well enough to make their picks and bans regardless of that. This map as well is a classic one. This is one that both of these players are going to know. Helix by Hollowing's Fanzin's X difficulty. Infamous map with the Biko Hidden Hard Rock SS that went unmatched or even close to matched for years and years. Super awkward wide angle jump aim on CS 6.5, followed by some incredibly high spacing wiggle streams on CS 6.5 makes this incredibly difficult to deal with. Even in the slower sections of this map, when you get the wide angle jumps, it can be so difficult to hold on to combo despite it looking relatively easy with the anti-aim and wide angle patterns that this map brings. And there goes Enri missing on one of the earlier sections. This is the comfort on the mod that Chicony is hoping to bring out.
Comfort really coming in his favor in the early stages of this map. We're getting about a third of the way through, but that early break from Enri not giving him too many favors. But the hard part is yet to come. Late stages are when this gets really hectic. And Chicony continues to express that comfort with a solid 98 accuracy. Enri does actually exceed him in that accuracy, but the combo is not helping him extend that score. We're getting very close to that 100k difference here. So far, halfway point. These jumps get really tough, but both these players hold on. That early break from Enri not seeming to phase him despite the clear discomfort, contrary to Chicony. Recovery is solid. 300 combo for Enri. Only trailed by Chicony's 500, about 200, about maybe 10 combo, 220 combo difference here. But the stuff gets really tough. We're going to the late stages here. We could see a break, and this could get really important, Dio. This could get valuable.
There's this 1/3 section first, though. This is all just linear 1/3. This section is immediately followed by one of those high-spacing wiggle streams, though. If we see Chicony break and enri hold, it's possible for enri to stage a comeback. Let's see it. Both of them hit it! Chicony is able to hold on, crucially, and I think that pretty much guarantees the win. Well above 900k at this point for Chicony, and that is going to seal it up regardless of the ending here.
Far and away the hardest part of the map. Both these players trade breaks, but
Chicony hit the ending stream too? What? Hello? How did he hit that? He hit the ending stream.
Oh.
What the hell? Okay, I don't know how you hit the ending stream too. That's actually nuts from Chicony. Very good score. Very good score. He missed on 2 jumps at the end, but hit both of the disgustingly hard streams. Crazy score from Chicony.
How do you hit that? That is just insane. That is crazy. That first stream was extremely valuable, and both those players hit it, which kind of sealed it for enri. You know, if you're in enri's situation, you were begging for that miss from Chicony, but he just didn't budge. You could see the comfort. You could see how well he was hitting those streams, and especially hitting that second wing stream. I didn't catch it. I thought he broke on that, but wow, if he hit that, that is crazy.
Yeah, had 14 combo going into the spinner, so definitely hit the ending wiggle for Chicony, and that's all you can really hope for. Okay, I wasn't expecting No Mod 5 to be picked from enri. If anything, I was expecting Chicony to pick this. I am a little confused here, given the DT2 ban. I feel like enri... I'm very confused. Why do you ban the DT2 and then pick the No Mod 5? I'm extremely confused. But enri feeling confident on the speed, I suppose. This is the speed stamina pick, 227 BPM. Pretty much just all 227 BPM streams. There's nothing weird about this map. There's a couple 1/3s in the middle. The aim on them is a little tricky at times, but nothing these players haven't already dealt with in picks like the No Mod 2 and the Hard Rock 2 that we just saw. I'm just really curious why exactly enri banned the DT2 and then picked this. That just screams inconsistency to me. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm the weird one, you know, maybe I'm the one who doesn't get it, but from the outside looking in, it certainly looks a little bit odd. That said, enri's still a very good speed player. We already saw them take the breakpoint on DT3 and win against Chicony on the 270 BPM burst spam map in DT3, so, you know, if you're feeling comfortable on the stamina, if you're feeling warmed up, then I think this pick is very solid.
I think this is definitely a sign of confidence from enri. I think, considering enri took the raw speed pick from Chicony, and as you mentioned before, Dio, you know, enri is more in the stamina side of his speed rather than the raw speed, right? He's not as formidable on super quick 270 BPM burst contrast to the 220 BPM streams we're seeing on this here. And yeah, keep in mind, this could be a confidence move here from enri. He's solid on the action department, 99.83. Chicony, though, not too far away either. 99.5, really, really close. This map is a very standard speed stamina map. OWC custom, if you recall from those OWC maps. But you can already see the stamina coming through on this map. Both these players are hitting it solidly here. No major breaks. One singular 50 for enri on that stream. But Chicony's the first one to break. We're about a third of the way through, and enri looks so comfortable right
Oh
now.
my, what was that miss? No shot he missed there. What? No. No. He just broke on air. That was just complete air. What?
Oh no.
What? Okay, well, Chicony has a 90 combo advantage. This is all free combo. Luckily for enri, 1% accuracy lead. It's going to offset the combo lead for Chicony just fine, but man, you could have been in such a commanding position after that section if you just hit the free as hell slider. Oh my god. Oh, you gotta. That's so rough. That is so rough.
I don't know whether to say if that was worse than the miss from last week. Do you remember when Bartek just missed on literally nothing before the tough section?
Yeah.
That's what this reminds me of. That is a ridiculous miss, which makes it a lot closer than it could have been. The accuracy, though, massively in favor of enri, dropping it just a little bit in the early stages of that big stream, but he still holds that commanding accuracy, but it's closing in very, very slowly, Dio. Chicony still has that accuracy, not accuracy, sorry, the combo advantage, only by about 190 even. But still, an advantage nonetheless. This map is pretty long, 4 minutes. You know, if these players are both to hold consistently, back drops or not, Chicony is going to very slowly take it away. We only have 20,000 score in between that next trade. We're going into the final quarter of the map. This is where it can get important. And act drop from Chicony slowly slowing down that lead. Big act drop once again, extending the lead just a tiny bit. Enri's accuracy is really carrying him here, but it's so close. A single break can really change it, but these guys are not budging.
This
be an act battle?
It's probably gonna come down to it, Sheba. Neither of them are really all that uncomfortable on this map. I mean, 98% act for Chicony is still very good on this. It's not as though there's any signs of discomfort or lack of stamina from either of these players. It's still a full 1% act lead, but as these combos get bigger and bigger, 90 combo starts to matter more and more going into the ending here. Is there going to be enough map left for Chicony to take this over, or will the accuracy be held up by Enri and stave off the advance? The 1/3 at the end here might decide it. If there's an act drop for Enri on the 1/3 section here at the end.
Oh, there could be a last second break. No, that's it. Oh my god, that's incredibly close. Look how close that score is, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. That is literally what? 16, 17,000?
And not quite 16,000 at the end of it all. Extremely close map for Enri there. You cannot feel super comfortable in that pick. That Nomad 5 was incredibly close, but it is going to be the win for Enri after all. 4-3 after everything is said and done. And yeah, that is extremely close. Extremely close here.
If you are an Enri fan, the first 2 words you're saying is thank goodness.
Yeah.
We got that map. Because Enri could have been in a much better position if it wasn't for that, honestly, clip-worthy mess.
Yeah, that was a very sad slider break for Enri. Otherwise, a 99% full combo was incoming on that one. But, well, I suppose we move on. I again am so confused why the DT2 ban, but I guess we'll never know. On to the Hard Rock 3 now for Chicony. This is the kind of like light techy flow aim map. Lots of just straight up flow aim streams. A little bit of light tech aim consistency in this map as well. So, you know, something again where you have a couple of different skill sets going on, and you're looking to players who are comfortable on what the map brings otherwise to win out. In this case, you know, the Hard Rock mod, especially the flow aim on that mod, but as well a little bit of that aim consistency. And if you're not comfortable playing stuff like this, it's going to give you a bit of trouble. That said, the overall patterns in this map are something that Enri is going to be completely fine on, so the mod comfort might not matter as much for Chicony here. We'll see how this one goes. We've already seen Enri win out on the Nomad 2, but it was a very close map.
This is a pretty tough map here. Look at the streams here. Look how quick they're coming through. Very flow aimy. And I think the comfort is kind of what Chicony's hoping for. You know, these patterns are nothing different to Enri, nothing crazy. It's merely that comfort that can really trip. This is one of those maps where a genuine tiny miss movement in your cursor can make a massive chain miss if you manage to miss on those streams. But so far, so good. 2 minutes long of this map, and we're already nearly halfway through. Neither player seems to budge, but Enri's edging on that comfort in the accuracy department. But it's looking incredibly close. Look at that score. It's literally just going back and forth.
Oh, no!
Just yet, but there's the break from Enri. He even chain misses on that 1/3 section, not making it better for him, let alone that break originally. Chicony, but halfway through, has the best case scenario for him now. He's got plenty of leeway. He's got lots of time to extend his score in this slow section here, building up some free combo before the final section.
And if you're rooting for a close match, that's exactly what you wanted to see, is a break from Enri on this one. Chicony going to find a break afterwards, though. There's still a 130 combo lead for Enri here, and a quarter of the map remaining. It's a 1% accuracy lead, though, Shiba, and Chicony does only have about 100,000 score lead. So if there's enough map left, Enri could potentially take this back. He's got the combo going right now. It all depends on this ending section, though. We get a little bit more of this light tech aim consistency, and then there's one more big stream section at the end, and that is going to determine everything on this map.
There's already hard puck coming through. Both these players are to hold. Chicony will continue to hold on to that lead, but it's really, really close. That whole 1% accuracy advantage for Chicony is going to help slow down that push from Enri to take the score lead. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Nothing goes through. Nothing crazy happens aside from that. Chicony holds and takes the map. And evens it out 4-4.
And that is going to keep us even once again. It's going to keep us at that even game state. 4-4. Chicony with the win on his own pick once again, and we are as close as it gets to tiebreaker without actually being there, Shiba. One pick left from each of these players guaranteed. You have to assume the Hidden 4 comes out for Enri, but no, it's actually Nomad 3 as the last pick for Enri here. I'm a little surprised. I was expecting Hidden 4 all along as the last pick, as something that Enri was saving. But no, it's going to be the Nomad 3 Koiwa Chaos. This is an alt map that has a few very, very tricky things. And by the way, I have to assume the last pick for Chicony is that Hard Rock 1. We'll see when we end up there, but he's picked the whole rest of the Hard Rock pool already. You have to assume that's the last one to come out. As for this map, very, very tricky alt snap aim all over the place in this map, and lots of transitions between very high spacing wiggly flow aim into that snap aim. You don't get the kind of flow aim that's in maps like Justice Monster, those Eurobeat style, almost low BPM space stream types of maps. You get much more of these wiggly back and forth snappy triangle focused or high spacing double focused patterns all over this map, and where you do get long streams, they're almost exclusively wiggle or shaped in ways that are very uncomfortable to play, like that linear stream that Chicony just broke on. And especially in the Ki times, there's one more thing that makes this map a little bit special, and that's the cross-screen back-and-forth sliders. There's a single cross-screen repeat slider in every Ki time with a single note underneath the ending of that slider. It's the same exact pattern that repeats in every Ki. So if you remember how the pattern goes, and you understand that it's there, and you know where it pops up, you'll be fine. But if you don't have that kind of thing down, it may give you some trouble.
Practice diff is a good way to describe this map, Dio. You gotta learn the hard way, and these are some tough sliders. We've already seen some players learn the hard way in our previous matches, and this map is gonna be no other, I hope. Chicony sadly breaks once again on that slider, ensuring Enri that he's gonna get a little bit of a lead going into this first Ki. We're going to see him still on the sliders. Oh my god, I hate it when they cheese that slider, man. It always terrifies me.
But it's so free if you cheese it. Yeah, it's so free if you cheese it. You can just hold in place. Not with those ones, though. Both of them hit the back and forth slider. Enri misses on the triangles after, though. And we got a match on our hands once again, Shiba. It's Enri with the accuracy, actually deficit, and combo deficit. Chicony in the lead for both metrics. Score lead for Enri, though, by about 45k or so, as Chicony's got a bit of a gap to make up from the intro.
This map is really long, Dio. 3 minutes and 55 seconds long. There's plenty of time for either of these players to gain an advantage. But so far, at the very moment, despite the score lead in favor of Enri, it's slowly going to swing for Chicony. Accuracy swinging back and forth in terms of who's got the lead and who's got the strongest accuracy. But in combo, it's surely Chicony. We're going into the small little section here that's going to build up to the next Ki, and the sliders and the crazy back and forth and the ridiculous snap aim is going to only get tougher. If Chicony holds, the score flip is surely going to be his. It's only going to be a matter of time as long as he holds. Of course, he's hoping for another break, but we've seen Chicony break on a section like this similar earlier on in this map, but it doesn't seem to trip him up this time. We're going into the next Ki, and this is where it could get really important.
These 6-note streams are so tricky alongside the 7-note wiggle streams that come after some of the slider sections. Nobody missing so far. We're on to the next back and forth repeat. Both of them hit it. Enri not missing on the triangles this time. It's both players holding on through the second ki time. Chicony slider breaks right at the end though, and that gives everything over to Enri once again. Accuracy, combo, score, you name it, he's got it. Going into the breakdown section, none of the 1/3s tripping him up either. That 1/6 burst there, no trouble for Enri whatsoever. As we get some more trickier patterns in this section. None of the back and forth, none of the slider aim, none of anything this map throws at him getting to Enri after that initial miss, as control fully on the blue team side. There goes another slider break though, and I don't know if control's truly on his side anymore. Chicony has some combo, but I think it's going to take a chain miss for Enri to lose this one, as a 100k score lead is very powerful this late into the map.
Yeah, you just said it yourself. Very, very late stages of this map. There's barely enough time. I think Enri's already secured it for sure. But you could already see that Chicony had a little bit of discomfort before that ki, maybe losing a little bit of comfort or perfection in that rhythm, that flow. He lost it just a little bit, and that led to him to break. And Enri, despite breaking, takes that point, and it's match point Enri, but Chicony's got one more map to boot, and I think we're both willing to bet that Hard Rock 1's that most likely pick.
You have to assume. You have to assume it's the Hard Rock 1 at this point. Very solid score from Enri. The 3 miss right in the middle of the map, and 1 slider break there near the end. So unfortunate set of misses there, but still ending up coming out on top. And there's the Hard Rock 1 from Chicony, like you were about to say. Louder by Roselia. This is aim consistency. It's a Skyflame aim map. This is the 2021 classic, right? You don't get much more typical aim consistency than something like this. This was actually used in the US World Cup 2019, very long, at this point, 4 years ago, as No Mod 1 in the semifinals. It's here as Hard Rock 1 in this tournament's semifinals because, well, players got way better in the last 3.5 years or so. And, you know, it holds up pretty well. It's a very, very solid map. Just straight up aim consistency in pretty much every way you can test aim consistency. A little bit of polygonal, triangle focused, star focused aim here and there. Not really any squares or other really awkward polygonal jump shapes though. A lot of 1-2s, a lot of back and forth jumps. Yeah. Any sort of basic aim consistency you want to test is in this sort of map. So it does a very good job of varying the patterns despite just being jumps for the vast majority of the time in this map. For somebody like Chicony, this is going to be bread and butter. This is going to be just a simple aim map. The same goes for Enri, but we've talked about mod comfort this entire time. For Enri, it's the hidden. For Chicony, it's the Hard Rock. And if you are Chicony, you have to hope that that mod comfort plays a factor here at the very end of this map, because if it doesn't, it comes down to an ACK battle, or it comes down to just the timing of a miss, and that is not something you want to gamble away here in the losers bracket. The loser of this match is eliminated from the tournament entirely, and the winner is secured top 6, guaranteed at least a spot in the last chance bracket, so we'll automatically have a second shot at getting into LA, even if they do lose out in the rest of the tournament.
This is a really, really important match, a really important map as well. This Hard Rock 1 is very important for Enri to take. If he gets this, he's guaranteed top 6. Chicony's fighting for his life, and this is the last pick. He's got to go before the big TB, which is definitely a frightening prospect when you think about it. So far in this first ki, it's looking really even. Accuracy more in favor of Chicony.
Oh, they both missed!
They both trade breaks just before that big jump section. I don't know if that was a burst or a double or something. I don't know. But regardless, they both break at the exact same time. But the accuracy stays in favor of Chicony, which is going to give him that small little advantage in score. But in combo, it's dead even, but Chicony breaks on a slider. The one time you have the chance to get the score lead up in your favor, you slip.
Stop missing. I was gonna say Enri did actually trade the miss again, and it was unanswered by Chicony. So Chicony had a little bit of a combo lead, about a 10 combo lead. For the while that he held that combo, it's now Enri back again with a little bit more of a combo lead, as He finds another miss. It's traded by Chicony once more. We get another Ki time, and this is what you don't want to happen if you're Chicony, is these constant trades of misses, right? It's exactly the same accuracy. Not even 10,000 score lead. Not even a 10,000 score lead right now. This is on a knife's edge between these two players. Pecco, please give him some help here at the end of the map. The last quarter or so coming into it right now for Chicony. Just praying for the misses to come out from enri. The misses are for Chicony, though, and enri is able to hold on a little bit better. 99 act through the stream section. No miss at the end of the jumps. And
such a desperate situation, man. Go, go, go.
If enri holds on just a little bit longer, this is probably unwinnable for Chicony. There needs to be a break. It's 50,000 score at this point, and I feel like even that small of a lead is so hard to come back with no combo for Chicony. This might be it, Shiba.
This could be it. Chicony's back against the wall, and he's losing time. Those multiple breaks have really hit him bad. In the most important map in this match for Chicony, he slips, and he's praying to the Pekka gods, or the goddess, we could say, but she's not smiling. With that, enri takes down Chicony in a very intense match. GG, enri is secured in the LCB.
Very, very intense matchup between these two. 6-4, as close as it gets without going to tiebreaker, as enri manages to take the last pick, won the first breakpoint and the last of them with this pick as well. Just such a tough match, honestly, for both of these players, as there's really not much more to say. This was an incredible match between the two of them, extremely close for both of these players, and you have to hand it to both of them how well they both played in this match, as a couple of more misses here and there for enri could have decided the entire match, could have brought us to TB, or given things over to Chicony early. If you see, misses on, for example, the DT3, if you miss once in the middle of that map, it goes over. If you miss a couple of more times, or at all early on in No Mod 2, it goes over. If you find one more slider break in the middle of the map on that No Mod 5, that goes over. There's so many incredibly close maps in this match. It would feel disingenuous to call this a decisive win for either of these players. enri coming out on top, but certainly hard fought by Chicony.
Chicony put up a brilliant fight, a brilliant battle, and it was very, very close for a short time there. But the Hard Rock one at the very end, the most important map, just slips away from his hand. We saw breakpoints trade, we saw scores get even out, but it was that final map that really mattered. And enri slips it through and gets that victory, secures himself top 6. So that basically means he's in the redemption bracket, or the LCB, the last chance bracket. That guarantees that if a player is top 6 in the same spot as MCY4, they are guaranteed in that last chance bracket. So regardless of what happens in this bracket stage, he's got another opportunity to go to LA. But God, you can't help but feel gutted for Chicony. He was so close to securing that TB, and despite having a little bit of a rough start in the early stages of the bracket, he really pulled through and did some great performances in the late stages of his run in this tournament.
Yeah, he definitely did. And we can take a look at some of those matches here. 6-5 against Svik, 6-3 against Kurumi, a little 2-3-4, but unfortunately for Chicony, being taken down by enri, who entered the losers bracket this weekend and managed to take down Intercamping 6-1 before coming up here and winning against Chicony. Yeah, very dominant match there. And yeah, like you said, enri now guaranteed top 6, guaranteed a spot in the last chance bracket. For anybody who's unfamiliar with how that system works, it is unique to this tournament. Basically, we'll take the players placing from 6th place up through 2nd and give them an extra bracket to work through. 5th and 6th place will play one another, and then the winner of that match will play 4th place, and then the winner of that match will play 3rd place, and then the winner of that match will play 2nd place. And that will determine the actual 2nd player to go to LA rather than the grand finals, given that both 1st and 2nd go to LA. We want the grand finals to be meaningful, so that if you are in grand finals, you have a reason to fight to not get into that last chance bracket. that is going to do it for our matches this weekend, though. Again, congratulations to Enri and commiserations to Chicony. A hard-fought match here. Good luck to Enri next weekend against MCY4 and potentially either Xylus or Zudinator or Bartek. We do still have one unfinished semifinals match. Bartek breaking his hand on Friday, and so unable to play the match this weekend. We have delayed his match with Zudinator until Friday, February 17th. That's this upcoming Friday at 22 UTC. And that will decide who Malashevsky goes up against on Sunday in that winner's bracket finals. So good luck to both of those players for sure. They're going to need it whether they make it into the winner's bracket or the loser's bracket. For now, that is going to do it for our matches, and we're going to have our finals map pool showcase. If you're curious about the maps that these players will be playing on in the winner's bracket finals and in that loser's bracket with MCY4, Enri, and Xylus all playing in that loser's bracket already, we'll be showcasing the maps that they will be facing up against in just a couple of minutes here. We're going to take a short break and get another caster in. Let me get some water and make sure my voice is ready to go for everything. And then we'll be
got a lot to do.
We'll be into the finals map pool showcase in just about 7 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to Shiba for casting. Congratulations once again to Enri, and we'll see you all in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Take care, guys. Do not go anywhere. Stick around.
Long may come blazing.